This past Monday was Independence Day, a day where we celebrate the founding of our country and the accompanying documents that created our republic. For 246 years, that has been the standard on 4th of July. It's a time for people of different political parties, backgrounds, and religions to come together and enjoy what makes us Americans. Well, that seems to be no longer the case as the nation is becoming extremely polarized on a range of issues, and we can't even see how to become. We can't even see eye to eye on any issues nowadays. So, Jay, I'll just get your immediate thoughts on this.
Yeah, I don't know. You have half the country on 4th of July celebrating and the other half, like, mourning. I think it was Daily Wire or maybe it was Steven Crowder or somebody went around asking people if they're proud to be American. And quite a bit of people were like, no, sorry. In this climate, I would say I'm not proud to be an American. So that's my thought. My thought is, yeah, I don't know. This country is... I mean, we used to all unite under the 4th of July. It used to be a time of celebration and for independence, but not no more, man.
Yeah, in the newest Gallup poll on that was for this 4th of July, it was the lowest number of Americans in recorded polling history that identified to be strongly proud to be an American, which is just 65%. And when you break it down between parties, it was 58% of Republicans say they are extremely proud to be American, and only 26% of Democrats say that they're proud to be American.
Yeah, that's because nationalism gets such a bad opinion. People look at nationalism, they hear nationalism, and they think it's an evil thing to be like proud of your country or be proud of where you come from, supporting your country, because they look at, let's say, Germany, World War II, or the Spanish Civil War, the ultra-nationalists, they look at that in a bad light, that we're like fascists or something because we love and support our country. So, I don't know, man. I guess I'm a nationalist. I love my country, or what it used to be.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is when Republicans say they're not proud to be American, they're more looking at it as like, oh, look what our country's become. I mean, we no longer can, like, people are over there burning our flags, and people are kneeling for the national anthem, and the Democrats are more thinking of it as, oh, they're taking away our women's rights. And
well, exactly. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, okay. So when a conservative or Republican says they're not proud of their country, it's what their country has become. We still are proud of what America was, or
what we stand, or like what the symbol of America is. Because I mean, before America, America really became like the symbol of freedom, kind of. Like you look at the flag,
yeah.
You think of freedom, and I just almost said a bad word. But we're not on YouTube anymore anyway, so whatever. But yes, I mean, you think of the American flag, you think of freedom. But I mean, nowadays when you see the American flag, you think of like the past freedom that we were. Like when I think of the American flag, I think of the greatest generation of my great grandfather and stuff like that when they were out fighting against the Nazis and against the Japanese and stuff like that. I'm thinking of the American pride. I mean, nowadays, even Republicans, we can't. I mean, we're having people when it comes to the we just got out of Pride Month, and when you look at all the stuff that's coming out with people walking down naked down the streets and twerking in front of kids, and it's like, I mean, how can you be proud of your nation? Even at both sides are just losing, pride in their nation, but it's for completely different reasons.
Yeah, we don't live in a free society because you almost mispronounced flag and got scared over it. That's how we've been conditioned. You know what I'm saying? It really is. That's the sad part. It's like, oh shoot, I might have accidentally said the wrong thing on accident, and you look at all these news about people who get just doxxed and absolutely lambasted over the stinking media about how terrible they are because they make a mistake. Okay, that's what we've come to, is just trying to destroy each other's, personality or a whole entire worldview just because they say one wrong thing once, whether it's 5 seconds ago or 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and when, a lot of times, even if you don't aren't really proud of your nation right now, you can be, we'd always be proud of our founding fathers and, the documents they put out, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. I mean, I'm sure most right wingers, I'm still proud of, what the founding fathers did.
Yeah.
But when you come to the leftists, they just constantly, they're trying to write new history books and just saying our nation is just completely, everything's built off race. All our founding fathers were racists. And, where it was this place was built to be a slave society, and they're just completely trying to rewrite history and to make it seem like all of America was just completely built off, just evil morals and stuff like that. But I don't believe that at all. You look at, you go read the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. I mean, those were radical thoughts for the time. They're like, that was like the epitome, like our Constitution is what other countries base their Constitution off of.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 100%.
It's 100%.
It's 100%.
That's just the facts.
Well, so this is from the New York Post. 100-year-old World War II veteran breaks down crying and says, this isn't the country we fought for. Much of what the American soldier fought for in World War II has gone down the drain, according to the U.S. Marine Carl Sperlin Deckel, who celebrated his 100th birthday last week. So this is obviously a couple days ago.
Yep.
Deckel says that serving his country in World War II was the most important thing he ever did, according to Fox 13. The veteran and Silver Star holder says he wouldn't hesitate to put his life on the line again, but regrets what the U.S. has slipped away from what he remembers. People don't realize what they have, Deckel told the outlet. The things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had. It's just not the same, and it's not what our boys. That's not what they died for. That's not what our boys died for. Deckel's statements came the same day the U.S. lost the last surviving Medal of Honor recipient from World War II, Herschel Woody Williams, dying at 98 years old, surrounded by his family. So yeah, there's a picture of him crying, and it's very heartbreaking.
You almost get goosebumps.
Yeah, and these
people I saw on Twitter, people were mocking him for it.
How can you? And he was a Marine. He fought in the Pacific War. That's where the Japanese actually attacked Pearl Harbor. Okay, like some people are like, well, we shouldn't have won World War II. Maybe in Europe we didn't have to because we didn't get like directly attacked. No, Japan literally attacked us. That was an attack on the home country. Okay, this man, I don't know if he got drafted or whatever. Either way, he went willing, served, and fought for this country because Japan wanted to attack the United States. Okay, people don't realize that, and they're mocking him, they're laughing at him, and you know what? We are going to get steamrolled if we get into a war. Like steamrolled. The U.S. military has like a 40,000 man shortage just in the National Guard. Okay, from what's it called? From the people not getting the COVID jab. Okay, this is sad. This is sad.
Well, I mean, you think the leftists would love him because they say that they were Antifa, man. People that fought in World War II, they were Antifa.
Yeah. So they're like
version of history.
They're the Antifa of like the communists were Antifa as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad.
But yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's actually crazy to think about it that we will be the last generation to know World War II veterans. Isn't that weird?
That's crazy, and
completely
it's
different time.
Korean War too, which is only a few years later. Like those guys are pretty much dying out.
Yeah,
but World War. I mean, the Vietnam vets are getting old.
Yeah,
they're born in like the 50s or late 40s.
Those guys are probably getting up to 70s now.
Yeah, easily 70s, 80s.
Yep.
Some of them are even dead because they fought World War II and Vietnam.
But I mean, you look at the difference from like patriotism from back then, like World War II, to now. I mean, there's so many stories of like people who were like lying about their age when they're actually like 16, 17, just so they can go fight for their country. You think nobody wants to fight for their country now? Like,
I wouldn't join the United States military. I would never join the military.
I mean, you look at our generals and stuff. Like, we literally have like generals and stuff who think they are women.
It's retarded.
During Pride Month, you had every branch of the military who was coming out with different Pride stuff, and I think it was a Navy video where they were holding a class about like accepting different genders and about pronouns. This is what our military is now.
This might sound rough, but this is what I truly believe. If somebody joins the military right now, I would not be like, I would be like, what are you doing? Like, how can you support an institution like this? The U.S. military has gone so woke. Okay, it's sick. And that's why they have record low numbers of enlistments.
Yeah,
and all
but
that stuff.
Biden literally came out and said that we're gonna have to fight that. I mean, you wonder why you're having record lows of enlistments when you're making people get the jab. The Fauci ouchie.
Yep.
All this woke garbage that's coming out of it, where you have trannies up there, being our generals and stuff like that. It's just all woke garbage. They're permeating every single institution that we have.
My brother he joined the military back under Trump, and he would never join again. There's no way he would ever join under this administration. Like, I don't know anyone who would. So, and obviously I'm not talking about people who did an 8-year enlistment and are still in, whatever. But I just don't see unless you're like an officer and you're trying to fight the powers, whatever. But I don't know, with Joe Biden being the commander-in-chief, you really can't change the military unless he's gone. The guy's a freaking lunatic. Like, Joe Biden will go down as the worst president ever. He's actively destroying the United States. Everything he does, I don't know.
Everything that like is going bad, like they'll just constantly be like, oh, it's not going bad, it's not going bad, it's not going bad. But then pretty soon they'll be like, oh, it's good that it's going like that. With the gas prices.
Yeah.
They were just constantly blaming on Putin. And then just earlier this week I saw Biden again said, well, we're going through an incredible transition when it comes to gas prices. Like, they're getting excited about it.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if it's God's way of punishing the West for their sins, kind of like bringing them through an economic recession, because the stuff that happens makes no sense. That I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's not. I don't know.
You almost wonder if all this stuff is just elements that eventually come out of like a lot of freedom. You know what I'm saying? It has to. Like when it comes to like authoritarian China, I mean, there's no room for that stuff.
Well, it's like this. It's in the church. You have to have somebody with the law who says, no, that's not what we do. That's not this. And it's like, I really have to stop saying like, I say it so much, but if you have an authority or you don't have an authority and it's utter freedom leads to just debauchery. You can't have total freedom. Total freedom doesn't even exist. What total freedom is like the Wild
Anarchy.
West. Yeah, like you're riding on your horse and you get bit by a snake and you fall over and you die because there's no hospitals, or somebody comes and robs you and murders you. That's true freedom. I don't know. Yeah,
but I mean, with complete freedom, then you get leftism, and leftism eventually it always just leads to a revolution, a cultural revolution. Well, eventually the revolution will eat itself because it can't just take a little bit. It always has to keep on going. But sorry, we went off the rabbit trail a little bit. But with all this 4th of July stuff that was going on, I don't know if you guys ever know about the National Public Radio, but
NPR.
NPR, which is like, isn't it tax dollars go to this thing? I believe so.
Yeah, I believe that NPR is tax funded.
Yeah. And they have a tradition of every 4th of July of reading the Declaration of Independence. And this year they decided that they were going to not do that. The Washington Post wrote on the 4th of July that it's time to declare our independence from the Founding Fathers, explaining that the America of 1789 becomes a prison. The conservative justices of the Supreme Court can lock us all in whenever it suits them. The Associated Press observed, in the aftermath of another mass shooting in Highland Park, Illinois. A shooting that left at least 6 people dead at the Independence Day parade in Chicago suburb rattled Monday's celebrations across the U.S. and further rocked a country already awash in turmoil over high court rulings on abortion and guns, as well as hearings over the January 6th insurrection. There were multiple celebrities that were coming out and saying they are not celebrating 4th of July.
Good. Get out. Leave the country.
They're not going to, though.
I don't know. It's... I don't know. This when you don't have anything to believe in, when you don't have a religion that you can rally around, you don't have a set of holidays or beliefs to rally around, your country will crumble and fall apart, and civil war will happen, or civil conflict. I don't see how the United States can. I don't even know how you do a peaceful divorce of the nation. You can't. It's so interwoven. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, just to let you guys know what celebrities hate America. Kim Kardashian, of course, someone who is just so talented, man.
She is.
She really worked her way to get to the top.
Oh, she worked it. Listen, her video editing skills are top notch.
I don't know who you're referring to. But she took to Instagram and shared a post that said, 4th of July has been canceled due to a shortage of independence. Sincerely, women. Browin Windham, a former cast member of Real Housewives, posted a photo in which she dressed up in a costume from the hit show The Handmaid's Tale. Read another book or watch another. It's such a dumb thing. She said, "It's 4th of July. Not sure what to celebrate this year," she wrote in accompanying caption. Jessica Chastain posted her with her middle fingers up. "Happy Independence Day from me and my reproductive rights," she wrote. Singer Katy Perry quoted her famous hit Firework to speak out on Twitter about Roe v. Wade being overturned. She said, "Baby, you're a firework" is a 10, but women in the U.S. have fewer rights than an actual sparkler, SMH. Padma Lakshmi of host Bravo's Top Chef also shared it. Nicki Minaj's husband, a bunch of people that I don't even care about. Why would I care about their feelings? Let's be honest. Like, you guys are not. That's the problem with celebrities. They have such an influence. People will see this and be like, "Oh yeah, same here."
These celebrities have no idea what they're talking about. It was like Jessica Biel was in France or something, and she's like, "Oh, you have croissants and rights," and France has more restrictive abortion laws than the United States does. But people are so stupid. They don't know. They hear what these stupid celebrities regurgitate, these stupid politicians on Twitter,
CNN or MSNBC,
these dumb blue checks, and they just, oh really? Oh wow, this must be true. They're so stupid. I don't know. I'm at a loss for what to do. How would you get the country to unite? Just, I guess, Daily Wire. You got to start building culture again.
Well, see, the problem with doing that doesn't unite. That just polarizes the nation more. There's going to be separate economies.
I guess.
I don't know if there is a way to reunite.
You can't. You can't.
Politics have become mainstream culture.
The only thing you can do is these liberals who refuse to have kids and want to abort and this, that, and the other. If you can change the institutions to raise children morally and ethically, and these older generations die off because they don't have kids, they don't have any kids, that's the only way that this can happen. So every year, I don't know how many more voters we get, but people turn 18. I don't know if it's like 1 million, 2 million, who knows. But the only thing you can do is try to change the culture, and that's what Daily Wire is doing. That's what Tim Pool's doing. But honestly, Tim Pool, Tim's just weird. But anyways, I like him, but I just think I feel like he's holding back from just coming to all the way to the conservative side.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's kind of going off or up to us. We're changing the culture,
trying to.
All 7 people who listen, we're gonna help you. You're gonna change your minds. Anyways,
but you know that our society is messed up when you have an entire month dedicated to pride and debaucheries like that, and you have one day dedicated to our country.
yeah,
To celebrate
so
our country.
what are we gonna do on Pride Day or Pride Month? Are we gonna sit here and celebrate? Like, did you put on a rainbow shirt?
No.
Good.
I didn't change our logo to rainbow either.
What?
I know.
You know, if we would have changed our logo to rainbow,
We'd still be on YouTube.
yeah, we'd be on YouTube. We'd probably have 100,000 subscribers, bots, mind you, but still. Twitter.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just messed up, because then you go and look at in the LA Times by a columnist called Jean Guerrero. She talks about why the opinion is called "I'm officially reclaiming the U.S. flag from the fascists." They love using that word, man. They probably don't even know what it means.
They don't.
So she goes on and talking about how she used to be such a patriot and stuff like that, and she had a lot of pride and hope in the nation. And then she goes on later to say, the hopeful sense in November of 2020 that we'd reclaim the flag has died as the GOP deals blow after blow to hard-won equal rights, including women's right to bodily autonomy. You don't have the right to kill babies. I'm sorry. The euphoria of a spontaneous dance party I joined at the Los Feliz gas station on November 7th, 2020, so that obviously after Biden was elected, as Angelinos twerked with abandon amid U.S. flags, is long gone. How can we celebrate Independence Day with its flags and belligerent displays of patriotism when so many of our communities feel terrorized by such rituals? I dumped the flag merchandise on my sofa and squinted. The stuff looked clownish and sinister, like the authoritarian himself. I picked up the LED flag glasses and put them on, stepped in front of the mirror. Disturbed, I took them off. Wow. Isn't she so brave?
Oh, my word.
Isn't that awesome? Said, how had Trump come to live inside the symbol I once believed represented me?
Now what represents her is the pride flag.
Yep. Yeah, the Pride Progress flag
Is that the new one with the chevron
ugly,
thing? Yeah.
ugly triangle and stuff
Good.
like that. Did you see the pictures in the UK where
Yes.
it looked like Nazi Germany?
Yep,
where
with
the
pride
the
flag.
entire
Yes.
row of
Was
thing.
it 10th Downing Street or whatever?
I forgot where, but you guys will have to go look it up. But or maybe Javen will post it on Facebook or something. But the entire street, some big street in UK, every light pole had a Pride Progress flag on it. It looked like some authoritarian like fascist regime, and like it's an entire regime built off a idea, and a horrible idea. But I think James trying to find what street it was on.
I forget what it was. Was that the Parliament building or something?
Something around. It wasn't like just some no name street. It was a pretty big street, I remember. But I mean, that's not normal things. I mean, you don't even see that stuff with American flags anymore. I there was this one thing where there was
There was
Are you finding it?
right here, yeah.
Yes.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I think that's 10 rows. There's over 50 pride flags just hanging down a whole street. And then there was another one. I forget where it was, but I think it was in the United States somewhere. And that's the new. I wouldn't necessarily. That's the new, not enemy, but adversary. They're going to be trying to counter the United States. They're going to try.
That's the new flag of the new regime that's coming.
Yeah, it's pride.
And it's such an ugly flag.
It's so ugly. I hate it.
And it you know, of course, the flag with its ugliness represents
The left.
the ideas of that.
The left has to be ugly. They have to be ugly. That is leftist ideology has to be ugly, and it always has to progress. It will never stop.
It eventually eats its own.
That's why there will be okay, here's a question. Do you think that the pride flag will have a segment or a color for the maps, minor attracted persons?
Of course.
It has to.
It's easy. It's starting to come out. There's professors talking about it.
Leftism super woke liberalism has to have, what's it called? It has to continue.
It has to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
It's not always like, what was it? When was Obergefell, the Supreme Court case that upheld gay marriage? Was it 2013?
Yeah.
14?
Yeah.
There was that's when the slippery slope
Yep.
stuff happened, and they called it slippery slope fallacy, and you know what? It's just gonna stop it. That's all we need. We just need that, and then what's next after that? Start getting some transgender stuff, and just let people, adults, be transgender. Who cares? We're not gonna come for your kids. We would never do that. And then pretty soon now, you're getting little drag show story hours sprinkled in with a little, massive pride events when it's not even celebrating pride in your whatever sexuality. It's literally just sexual fantasies being played out. There are people walking around like flatulating themselves. And there's a guy in what is that? Who's that character from Looney Tunes?
Bugs Bunny.
A Bugs Bunny helmet on he's naked
Ugh.
and he's hopping down the street.
What the
There was a guy, a old man, he looked 60.
Yeah, it was the one twerking in front of
Yeah,
kids.
he has like a diaper or underwear on.
Yeah.
And he's twerking in front of kids, and this lady walks up to this little girl and's like, wave to him, wave to the guy.
Yeah, the slippery slope leads into the ninth circle of hell. Read Dante's Inferno, guys. It'll give you a good representation. But yeah, that's what the two factions are. You have the United States and the free world, and you have the pride. In all over the world, crazy things are happening. The Dutch farmers are protesting against the Dutch government amid a food shortage, a coming food shortage. The Danish government says you have to reduce on nitrogen production or whatever from like cows and stuff, that they cut livestock, stop using so much fuel for their tractors and stuff. So they're protesting, and I guess the police shot at them because they drove through a barrier or something. Nobody died, but they shot the tractors. So it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is what I'm talking about. We're going through a food shortage. Why would they be caring about climate change? And they call it climate change because if it gets too hot, it's climate change. It gets too cold, it's climate change. You have pride, you have what's the other thing? Abortion, and you have climate change. Like, those are the three sacraments of the leftist ideology.
Yeah. But when it comes to the difference between like liberals and conservatives, like when it comes to conservatives, what are we conserving? Let me ask you that. What are we supposed to be conserving? I'm like, that's in the name. We are supposed to be conserving things. What would you say we are conserving?
I think what we should be conserving is the nuclear family, husband, wife, children, the pursuit of life, so you can't have abortions, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and Christian morals.
So going back to what our founding fathers wanted, is that what you're saying you want to conserve?
Yes.
How dare you, sir?
False. I will dare to. Every day.
You're a bigot.
No, you know what? These leftists they hate themselves. Like, they're not happy people.
No, there is a survey, or no, I think it's just a statistic where it's leftist people. Are you looking it up? Where they're more likely to have mental problems or something like that. What is it? I know you know the survey or the statistic where the leftists are more likely to have like mental health problems.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, well, you start talking so I can try to find it real quick.
Well, so there was a study done, and obviously attractiveness, this is kind of on the same level. Attractiveness is all relevant, obviously, but conservatives tend to be more attractive, because evil people are like the Sith Lords in Star Wars. It's just their evilness overtakes them, and it starts to just wear their bodies out. Well,
when your ideology is full of ugliness, then it it's gonna, when you're inside is full of ugliness, it's going to make its way on the outside. It will reflect what is on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have this right here. Interesting new Pew study. White liberals are more likely to have mental problems. Obviously. I think it was done in March of 2020. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, right here. 56% of young white liberals have it. 28% of young white moderates, and 27% of young white conservatives. So 56% of young white liberals have mental health issues. You can understand why the liberals typically seem like crackheads half the time.
Yeah. So I'm reading this thing. It's on Quora, and someone asks, does being left wing make you happier? And this is a guy's response. I think I'd be happier on the right. Since I live in a country that leans that way and comes from a super conservative family, nonetheless, the left seems to offer the best solutions to the issues our society is facing. So these people are willingly going into this, knowing that they won't be happy because they've been so brainwashed by the system. And then this lady here, she says, if you are on the left and you are a minority, you believe you are oppressed, and that oppression is systematic. That means no matter what you do, how hard you work, you will always believe to be oppressed. So you can't be happy if you're oppressed, right? If you are on the left and you are white, you believe that you haven't earned anything on your own merit. The color of your skin, something you have absolutely no control over, gives you privilege and is responsible for all success in your life. Happiness is derived from two main things: taking and fulfilling responsibilities. And being grateful. If you believe you are oppressed or you're white and you believe you have privilege, you don't believe you have personal responsibility, failure. It's not your fault. It's the fault of oppressive society. You feel like a victim. Yeah, so essentially she says that since you're a victim or you don't have any control over it, you don't have any control over your life, and having control over your life and leftism, essentially, you give up all control and you just listen to what they say, like, oh, you're oppressed or you're privileged, and it just beats you up. Like, you have no control over your life, whereas the right wing, you have control of your life. Whether you're black, white.
You're not always going to have 100% control. Stuff happens.
But you have control over your happiness. Like, okay, well, let's say you're at a disadvantage, because sometimes that happens in life. If you grew up in a poor neighborhood, that sucks. Like, it does. I'm not going to deny the fact that I grew up in an easier life than many other people. But I know plenty of people. My parents.
Thank you, God, that we did.
My parents grew up in a hard life. Okay, your parents grew up in a hard life. Yet they still are happy and they pulled themselves through it. That's what the right gives you. It gives you hope. Left, it doesn't give you anything.
The only thing it gives you is the want to become oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, They with all this new, what is it? What's that new like history stuff they're trying to come out with? It's I can't think of it. They keep trying to block it.
What?
I can't think of the word. I'm having a mind blank right now.
I don't know what you're talking
about. They're coming out like telling all these white kids about how oppressive they are. The colonial mindset and how you should feel bad for what your ancestors did, even though you had nothing to do with it. And how even if your ancestors might have been oppressed at some point, at some point, every skin color was a slave at one point.
Yes.
Slavery isn't just beholden to black skin.
It's like a world issue throughout all of history.
I'm part Irish, and Irish were treated pretty bad by the English.
Well, that's an opinion.
Anyways, but you're going to get these people to feel so bad about themselves that they're going to feel like garbage and they're going to feel like nothing. And then eventually they're going to, bring in this new transgender ideology into them where now you can be a part of oppressed people, You don't have to be of a certain skin color to be oppressed. You can just join one of these and now you have something to fight for. They just are looking for something to be a part of because, a lot of times, they don't have they have an absent father. They don't have that, a lot of times when it comes to, the reason why you want a nuclear family is because male and female, husband and wife have different roles. Obviously, you know, Javen, you're obviously, you know more about it. You're a husband. I'm not. I'm still single. You know, husband and wife, they have different responsibilities. So when it comes to raising kids, you're a new father. So I mean, you guys are gonna make mistakes. That's just a fact.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay.
But when it comes, you know, ask our parents or something like that. A husband, you know, the dad is supposed to be more of like the law.
Yeah.
The mom is supposed to be more of like the nurture and the gospel, you know. Well, you know, if you grow up without a dad, which that's a epidemic right now in the U.S. or just the world, you're not going to have that law.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be just more about nature, feelings and stuff like that. Which I'm not saying that's bad that, you know, women, you know, we need women that have feelings, but you're just, I don't know, I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but people are going to want to be a part of something. They don't have that nice masculine, role model.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be looking for something, and, you know, everyone needs that fight in their life. You need to fight for something.
Yep.
You know, what do we fight for as conservatives?
Truth, justice, and
Christianity. You know,
yeah.
You fight for that stuff. I mean, we're a part of something. We're a part of, you know, God's church.
Yep.
Which I'm not saying our church. I'm saying all of our churches. But, you know, the lefts don't have that. They are the church of the left. And
the left gives you the ability to take your anger out on something. That's what it is. Because I was just reading,
because they don't have any other avenue to bring it out on.
Like, I was just reading some guy, and he's like, the left stands for facts and science, and it's like, no, it doesn't. You guys are 10, 15 years ago, you could almost use that argument, but since this transgender bullcrap, no, you guys aren't. You guys are not the party of facts and science. With the COVID jab, with COVID in general, you guys are losing.
They constantly cover up science.
Exactly.
And then if you believe the science, you know what? You're so conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. You know what they say? The difference between truth and conspiracy theory is,
it's like, what, 6 to 9 months?
Yeah, and now it's like 6 to 9 weeks. But it's sick.
But yeah, anyways, we kind of got wrapped up a lot in this episode. You know, we apologize. But anyways, I'm sure most of you guys that are listening to us probably celebrated 4th of July, and we're actually proud of what our founding fathers did and our God-given rights, which doesn't include abortion. I apologize if this is news to you, but we're probably going to end this episode right here. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you rate the show, follow the show, share with your friends. If you really do like this content that we put out, surprising if you do. But, you know, we're trying to build something we can't do without you. So, yeah, just follow us and keep listening.
Yeah, and thank a veteran for what you have, and especially a World War II or Korean War veteran.
If you know any more World War II,
and if you
they're
see
dying
them,
out.
They're dying out, man.
You really need to thank the World War II veterans if you see them,
and they need to hear it, especially in this time. Like I said, that Marine, he thinks it's all going to crap and it was useless, but you know what? It's not useless. Someone should give that guy a hug, and we should call the guy up and say, you know what? No.
Didn't he die?
No, he's still alive.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. What he died for was not for nothing, because you know what? We're here. We're fighting.
The fight continues.
The fight continues. Thank you.
Bye.